Nvidia is the most powerful AI company on Earth because they make the most powerful AI chips on Earth. Almost all AI workloads run on Nvidia GPUs today. But with their earnings right around the corner, the real opportunity for investors is more than just Nvidia stock. It's the other companies winning big by working with Nvidia, but that almost nobody else is covering, making them a great way to get rich without getting lucky. Your time is valuable, so let's get right into it. First things first, I'm not here to waste your time. So here are the companies I'm going to cover in this video. ASML, which has the single biggest monopoly in the entire AI market, Applied Materials and their innovations in the semiconductor space, Taiwan Semiconductor, which makes over 90% of the world's most advanced chips, including Nvidia's GPUs, Micron Technology, which makes the high bandwidth memory modules for Nvidia's Blackwell chips, and Supermicro Computer, a data center infrastructure company that integrates those chips into massive data centers and has a 10-for-1 stock split on the way. Like I always say, the best way to find great stocks before everyone else is to understand a company's products, not just their profits. Huge growth happens when a company has the perfect product for a hot new market. Nvidia is dominating data center GPUs with a massive 92% market share, and the market for data center accelerators in general is expected to more than 5x by 2032, which means demand for these chips is growing at a 24% compound annual growth rate, or roughly twice as fast as the S&P 500. Combine that with Nvidia having gross margins north of 78%, which is as high as most software companies, and it's easy to see why Nvidia stock is up by almost 200% over the last year. And what all these companies in this video have in common is their involvement in making and deploying Nvidia's chips. Let's start with ASML. ASML is the only company in the world that makes extreme ultraviolet lithography machines. These massive machines use ultraviolet light to etch the tiny, complex chip designs onto silicon wafers. Each EUV machine has more than 100,000 parts, but ASML actually only makes around 10% of the parts in these machines. The other 90% are made by hundreds of companies all around the world, and ASML acts as the systems integrator. That way, ASML doesn't need to be the best in the world at making every single part, many of which are highly specialized and require insane amounts of engineering. As the name implies, extreme ultraviolet light has an extremely short wavelength, which is what lets ASML's machines print incredibly tiny details onto microchips. The EUV light is created from tiny explosions of molten tin that happen 50,000 times per second in each machine. Each pulse of light is then bounced off special mirrors made by Zeiss before reaching the silicon wafer. These are the flattest mirrors on Earth. They're so flat that if Zeiss could make a mirror the size of the United States, the biggest bump on the entire mirror would be the size of a single speck of dust. And that's just one of over 100,000 parts in these machines. So it would be much riskier if ASML did try to build every component themselves, because if any one part has an issue, the entire $200 million machine has an issue. That's why they built a massive network of exclusive deals with hundreds of specialized suppliers. Experts say that it could take decades and billions of dollars for any other company to challenge ASML's moat around these machines, which is why I said they have the biggest monopoly in the entire AI market. And their next generation machine is called the High-NA EUV lithography machine, which can etch lines up to 1.7 times thinner, enabling up to 2.9 times more transistors per chip. More transistors per chip means higher processing speeds, more memory density, and ultimately more compute per watt. Exactly what's in high demand thanks to the AI revolution and the explosion of data that comes with it. The amount of data on the internet has been growing at around 23% per year since 2021, and that doesn't account for text, audio, or video data created by generative AI. And speaking of data, you probably know that VPNs protect you and your data by encrypting it and making it look like you're somewhere else. But did you know that VPNs can also save you a ton of money? That's where Surfshark comes in, the sponsor of this video. Surfshark is a super fast and easy to use VPN that you can install on unlimited devices with just one account, letting you protect yourself and your entire family. And since some online stores raise their prices based on your location, you can use Surfshark to always get the best price on expensive purchases like plane tickets, hotel rooms, and rental cars. not to mention that Surfshark lets you access content, websites, and services that are blocked in your region altogether, since VPNs change your digital location. So if you care about your family's privacy and you like saving money, you can use my code, TICKER, to get up to 4 extra months for free. And since Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, there's no risk in trying it with my link in the description below today. And a big thank you to Surfshark and to you for supporting the channel. Alright, since ASML has a monopoly on manufacturing these lithography machines, they're going to benefit in a big way from the increase in demand for high-performance and energy-efficient AI chips. Even after the most recent downturn in tech stocks, ASML stock is still up by around 30% year-to-date, and I think they have plenty more upside over the long term. Next up is Applied Materials, ticker symbol AMAT. Jensen Huang made it clear that Nvidia's GPUs and accelerated computing in general would not exist without Applied Materials. Applied Materials has revolutionized the semiconductor industry by inventing fundamental chip processing tools. For example, they make machines called epitaxial reactors, which apply different layers of materials onto a semiconductor to change its electrical properties, like making certain areas more or less conductive before it becomes a memory device or microprocessor. AMAT also makes chemical mechanical polishers, or CMPs. Polishing these layers helps them fit together without any gaps or electrical issues. Once all the layers have been added to the wafer by the reactor and polished by the CMP, it's considered a planarized wafer and it's ready for the next processing step, which is etching and deposition. At a high level, etching is where the tiny channels are carved into each layer of the wafer. The pattern these channels create is determined by the design of the circuit, which comes from chip designers like Nvidia. After etching, the deposition process is where a conductive metal is deposited into the channels, turning the planarized wafer into an electronic circuit. Applied Materials makes many more machines for a wide variety of industries, but I wanted to at least highlight a few of the big ones for chip design since this video is all about companies that support Nvidia's GPUs. They've also talked about the huge demand for some of their other semiconductor solutions on recent earnings calls. For example, AMAT expects their revenues from high bandwidth memory packaging to quadruple year over year, thanks to generative AI. That means their revenues should keep expanding for years to come. AMAT stock is currently up by around 30% year to date, and just like ASML stock, I think AMAT still has a lot of room to run over the long term. Alright, so ASML builds the world's most advanced lithography machines, and Applied Materials makes more machines involved in chip fabrication. The Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company is where it all comes together. TSMC is a pure-play chip foundry that supports chip designers like Nvidia. TSMC doesn't make any chips for themselves, which means they never compete with their clients. As a result, they make around 60% of all chips on Earth, and a whopping 90% of all advanced microchips like Apple's A-series and M-series chips for iPhones and MacBooks, Tesla's chips for full self-driving, and of course Nvidia's GPUs for data centers and high-performance PCs. In fact, TSMC has a custom 4nm process specifically for Nvidia's chips, called 4NP, which is currently set up to manufacture Blackwell GPUs. Compared to their current generation of data center GPUs called Hopper, these new Blackwell chips are 4 times better at AI training and a whopping 30 times better at AI inference. This massive leap in performance per watt is why Nvidia's chips have so much demand compared to their competitors. Demand that flows down the supply chain to companies like TSMC, since they're the only company on Earth with the ability to make these chips in high volumes. And that's important because Blackwell actually combines 2 separate dies onto a single chip and connects them with a 10 terabyte per second link so they act as one GPU. 2 dies that each push the limits of ASML's machines, plus an extra high-speed link, plus a larger total area for advanced packaging, means that Blackwell takes over twice the production capacity and manufacturing resources as Hopper. These kinds of supply constraints are one of the reasons that Nvidia's GPUs cost so much in the first place. TSMC's 3nm process node, N3, is currently in volume production, and it's expected that Nvidia's next generation of GPUs after Blackwell, called Rubin, will be made on the N3 process node. TSM stock is up by over 60% since the start of the year, and over 80% since I started seriously covering it because of their close relationship with Nvidia. And here's a fun fact: TSMC uses Nvidia's AI to make its chip manufacturing process more efficient. Nvidia created a tool called AutoDMP, which TSMC uses to optimize the placement of chip components up to 30 times faster than previous methods. TSMC also uses Nvidia's cuLitho library to accelerate computational lithography by 40 to 60x, which is a huge breakthrough because that's a huge bottleneck in how fast modern chips can be designed. That means TSMC is using Nvidia's AI to build better chips. Those same chips make Nvidia's AI more powerful, which helps TSMC build even better chips. So this is AI building AI. And we can't talk about AI without talking about memory. Micron Technology, ticker symbol MU, is an American company that makes memory for the entire computing industry, not just Nvidia. Micron makes solid-state drives, RAM modules, and flash memory for data centers, consumer PCs, smartphones, and even automotive. All of these markets are transitioning to more advanced memory because of AI applications, from copilots on PCs and smartphones to AI on servers and in self-driving cars. And because almost every kind of device will need more memory, the market for high bandwidth memory is expected to almost 50x over the next 7 years, which would be an insane 68% compound annual growth rate for the rest of the decade. Now, to be fair, these growth numbers are so big because high bandwidth memory only makes up 5% of all memory deployed today, while demand for AI hardware is at an all-time high. So the AI hardware space is set for a ton of growth that's being dominated by Nvidia. Well, Micron makes the high bandwidth memory chips for Nvidia's Blackwell GPUs. High bandwidth memory packs more memory into a smaller space by stacking memory chips and connecting them all to a single hub. Doing that lowers the physical distance that the data needs to travel, which increases data transfer speeds while lowering overall power consumption. Micron makes high bandwidth memory cubes, which use around 30% less power than their competition. And just like Nvidia, Micron's most advanced HBM products have much more demand than supply. Micron has around a 25% share of the next-gen memory market, putting them right behind Samsung and SK Hynix, both of which are headquartered in South Korea. Micron stock is up by around 25% for the year, even after going down by over 40% in the recent sell-off in tech stocks. As companies like Google, Meta Platforms, Microsoft, and OpenAI keep building more advanced AI models, they'll need tons more high bandwidth memory and better data storage solutions. So no matter who wins, Micron wins, making it a great stock to get rich without getting lucky. And that brings us right to Supermicro Computer, ticker symbol SMCI. SMCI was founded in Silicon Valley in 1993, just like Nvidia. Supermicro designs and integrates everything from full-scale server systems down to individual workstations for a wide variety of markets, from cloud services and AI training to 5G and edge computing. But instead of competing with companies like Nvidia and AMD, they partner with them and customize their computing solutions, adding the right high-speed networking solutions, power electronics and cooling, and even the right firmware and software as needed. Supermicro has two huge competitive advantages. First, their server solutions are completely modular. Supermicro calls their modules server building blocks, kind of like Lego pieces but for data centers. Some customers might need more memory, while others might want more storage. Some data centers might want more CPUs, while others want to deploy as many accelerators as they can. Supermicro also has building blocks for power, cooling, and networking that can be optimized for specific data centers and specific workloads. This building block approach is what lets SMCI quickly build solutions for so many different markets. When a company like Nvidia launches a new chip, Supermicro doesn't need to design a whole new server system for it. They just design a new building block that connects to the rest of their ecosystem. The other big advantage is being headquartered in Silicon Valley, not Taiwan or China. That means when Nvidia designs a new GPU like Blackwell, Nvidia can share the chip designs with Supermicro to start laying out and optimizing the boards, the connectors and cooling, and everything else that keeps the B100 chips running at peak performance once they're installed in actual data centers. And because they're right down the street, updates and changes to the chip's design are easier to share and coordinate. This is a serious advantage. Nvidia recently delayed their Blackwell GPUs by 3 months due to design flaws. So as those designs evolve, Nvidia will want Supermicro to minimize Blackwell's time to market so that their customers can start earning returns on their billion-dollar infrastructure investments faster, especially if that means Nvidia can get their chips up and running before their competitors. That's why Supermicro Computer focuses on time to market as their key metric of success, and they've seen a lot of success this year, with their stock more than doubling year to date, even after sliding alongside other tech stocks. SMCI stock is set to split 10-for-1 on Monday, October 1st, so anyone holding SMCI on Friday, September 27th will receive 9 additional shares for each one they own. In theory, stock splits shouldn't matter. Supermicro Computer will have 10 times the shares at 1/10 the price, and that's that. But in reality, studies show that companies announcing stock splits tend to rise an average of 25% over the next year versus about 12% for the S&P 500. One big reason for that outperformance is many brokerages outside the US still don't offer fractional shares, so SMCI's share price going from $600 to $60 lowers the barrier of entry tenfold for those investors. Just something to consider before saying stock splits don't matter. Alright, I know this video is a little long, but I wanted to be thorough since investors might be missing the big picture by only focusing on Nvidia stock ahead of earnings. Nvidia's AI chips are unlocking huge investing opportunities in a wide variety of industries, but they all rely on solid server infrastructure, high bandwidth memory, and the machines that build them. And in my opinion, the way to find the winners in these quickly growing hardware markets is to understand the science behind the stocks. That's the best way to get rich without getting lucky. So if you feel I've earned it, consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. That lets me know to put out more research like this. Either way, thanks for watching, and until next time, this is ticker symbol U. My name is Alex, reminding you that the best investment you can make is in you.